So, there we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Jonhson Mclang Show, Season 2, Episode 7. Yeah. Happy Tuesday, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everyone had a great Thursday, because I did. So let's get to some news stories today. So let me go to my gallery here, my phone. Okay. Here we go. So the first news story of today is, I have two stories that I forgot to mention on Tuesday. About the Olympics and Pussy and funny video of Pussy too that someone made. So let's check this out. Well, I forgot. Okay, so one of the things is Nancy Pelosi is trying to back up China on the Olympics. Right now, there's a Winter Olympics going on in China right now, and the U.S. is there. I guess what Nancy Pelosi's, I guess China's having lots of human rights violations recently, in recent times. Here, like human rights issues in China, which is nothing new, because China is always communist, it's the Communist Party, which is unfortunate, and I hope we never get there in this country. I hope this country stays decent, So, which there's been some scares the past year, but with that, but hopefully it stays decent. I hope it. Okay, I hope it calms down a little bit. So I guess Nancy, a Democrat, supports China and all this, and trying to back China, even though she seems like she's not, but we know the truth. She's trying to back China up for, science people, and she's telling United States teammates in the Olympics, which are doing great, by the way, I think. And good job, and congratulations on making it to the team, to anyone from Team USA, so congratulations. I know you had to deal with testing and vaccination and stuff to enter the Olympics, which I think is unfair, but good job for entering the Olympics, and it's an honor, and I hope, and you guys should be proud of yourselves too, and Team USA. I guess compared to the Summer Olympics last year, with Team USA, I guess this Team USA is better than the summer Team USA, and the summer, the Fall Olympics or whatever, because it was at August instead of July, August, but like fall. But anyway, in summer, but because those Summer Olympics people did not stand up for the flag and did not support America, and was liberal. I bet there's some liberals on the Winter Olympics too, but I'm not seeing much. So not embarrassing us. So and standing for the flag. So that's great. I haven't heard any negative stories with the athletes, but as of right now. So, I guess Nancy's doing all these speeches back in signing the Team USA players in Beijing, China, that maybe want to speak out, but Nancy Pelosi is trying to not let them speak out. So someone, a very popular conservative person, Ben Jonhson, I like him, I like his channel, I like what his work is, and I guess he made a funny video here, Nancy Pelosi, was not edited video of Nancy Pelosi. It's not actual. Well, it was an actual video of Nancy Pelosi and what she said, but he edited it and put the Chinese president, the Chinese prime minister, or whatever president, the Chinese president's face on it. So I'm gonna show you. It's funny. I think you guys will like it.
Incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete.
I hope you can
Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger.
Okay, so basically making fun of just that video was making fun of pussy, and I love it. That's a funny video. When I saw it first on Instagram, I thought it was funny. Okay, so now let's go into news stories here. So the first story is Biden sinking ship. Biden's approval rating, that's all they going, his approval rating is all they sucky right now, is going into uncharted territory for the first time in his presidency. Let's read it. Biden's approval rating drops below 40% for the first time in the average of major polls. Ooh, he's just dropping down. Which that's good for us, so hey, it's good for the Republican Party. We're having, the Democrats are fed up of Biden. His voters that voted for him are starting to see true colors of him and the Democrat Party, I hope that serves us well with the midterm. So hey, that's great for us. Okay, I don't know if I want to do that one too much. Okay, ready for a face-off. Democrat leaders defy Biden's and change course on mandates for masks and vaccinations in cities and states, but it's timing that is getting noticed. So, right now, some governors are getting rid of mask mandates. Like New York is getting rid of mask mandates. New Jersey is removing school mask mandates. Illinois is getting rid of mask mandates in their state. So lots of blue states are getting rid of mask mandates. About time, right? So, which is great. And also Biden, withdrawed from the vaccination mandate and the Supreme Court got rid of it. And experts are saying that we're going to endemic, basically, with end restrictions. That's what Democrat news channels are saying. I believe it. I believe that we're in an epidemic, an endemic, instead of a pandemic. Even though I don't believe COVID-19 in the first place, but I'm glad that we're an endemic. The Democrats are finally saying that we're an endemic and getting rid of restrictions and getting rid of mandates, which is great for us. I'm glad that mandates are ending, and hopefully school boards and stuff restrictions if we go into an endemic in spring or summer. That's what the experts are saying. I'm not for sure, I'm not 100% for sure, but they're saying that we're entering no restrictions in the summer or early fall this year, which is great. And but there's a spin to it, though. No, there's some theories about where we're going to endemic and no restrictions in Democrat states. So lots of states this year in 2022 is how, and Biden is probably ending restrictions, and we're probably going to the endemic to try to make us happy that we're ending restrictions and stuff, which we are. We are happy that restrictions are ending, but I think the Democrats are scared about the midterm elections. They want to make this big thing that, oh, we ended the pandemic, we ended COVID. We ended all these restrictions, we saved everybody. Hey, we did this, we ended the pandemic, finally. But there's a spin to it. Restrictions are ending, but I think Democrats are trying to get Democrats and Republicans to fed up Democrats anyway. There's some fed up Democrats out there. Trying to say, hey, to Republicans and Democrats, hey, restrictions are ending. Vote for us now. You don't need to be mad at us anymore, so vote for us in the midterm. thinking that Republicans will be happy that restrictions are over, which we are, to vote for them in the midterms coming up in November in certain Democrat states. Illinois is having a midterm elections, and New York is having a midterm election. So this year, so it makes you think. I'm glad that the restrictions are over, and I hope that stays. It makes you think that the Democrats are trying to get mad Democrats that are out there and Republicans out there to change, to vote for them again. Say, hey, we ended this, okay, so, it's time to, move on and vote for us in the midterms and try to get a midterm win. Which I think some fed up Democrats and all Republicans are not going to go for that. But definitely, us Republicans, we're not changing our mind for a midterm. Yes, we're focusing on COVID-19 pandemic restrictions and focusing on inflation and the military and stuff. We're focusing on the border. That's still not fixed yet. That needs to be fixed, but that's a different time, a different topic for a different time. We're also focusing on pro-life this year, so we're focusing on restrictions, a bunch of stuff we're focusing, but yes, we're focusing on, and we're also focusing on critical race theory as well. So, which I have another story about that in today's episode, but we're focusing on so much for the midterm elections, but I think the Democrats' goal is trying to end the pandemic restrictions too, which is great for us Republicans and fed up Democrats, because I think there's some hopefully there's fed up Democrats. I'm not trying to speak for Democrats, I think there's fed up Democrats that are switching to Republican. Look at Virginia last year. That used to be a blue governor state, blue president state. So, and they're changing. So, people are fed up. Look at the approval rating of Biden and approval rating of these Democrats, these hypocritical Democrats like Stacey Abrams and the governor of California. Look at it. We almost had a recall election for him in California, but it didn't work out as planned, but as hoping. But we wanted a recall. We were fed up. And Californians were fed up and still are fed up. I think California will still be a blue state, but I don't know, maybe some states that are blue states in 2020 will probably switch from blue to red, just like Virginia. But I think the Democrats are trying to brainwash us and say, hey, vote for us now. We ended your restrictions. Vote for us as a governor. Vote for us as a senator in your state or in the U.S. Congress, or vote for us for House Representative, for the State House Representative, or the U.S. Congress for the midterms this year. So, but us Republicans are not playing with their tricks. We're still going to be mad over the past 2 years of craziness, the COVID-19 restrictions, 2 years of hell, basically. Sorry. Heck, I'm sorry. Never mind. But 2 years of craziness, 2 years of restrictions, of governors, of representatives and senators not caring, or not making restrictions to the COVID-19 restrictions, and not, well, other than Republican representatives and stuff, but, and then Biden. So that made the restrictions worse. Yes, the pandemic restrictions were going on with Trump the first year, but Biden just made those restrictions worse. And Trump didn't make the restrictions. The governors and mayors and boards and stuff made restrictions. It's not Trump. Trump did not even do restrictions. He gave recommendations to states and cities did their own thing, unfortunately. But we can't blame that on Trump. So, I still, but Biden made that thing worse, So, yeah. And the test kits that are free, supposed to be fast, are not coming quicker. enough, which is a disappointment, another failure of Biden's. But Democrats are trying, I think, governors and mayors and are trying to remove vaccination mandates and trying to remove mask mandates and stuff because they know that they're screwed with midterms. So this is kind of your final chance to win the midterms, which you're not going to win the midterms because fed up Democrats and Republicans are fed up with Democrat policies and Democrat people in power, and we're not going to change our vote even if restrictions are over or not because we're fed up. Why? Restrictions happen anyway, and we can't forget about that. We're not going to forget overnight about restrictions and heck that we had for 2 years overnight. Okay, we're not going to play the Democrat games. We're not going to let Democrat House Representatives or senators in state Congress or U.S. Congress win. We're going to have, I think Republicans are going to take over U.S. Congress, which is great. And maybe even state Congresses and state governorships and mayorships, if there's a mayor elections. But, so I think we're still gonna win the midterms. I think Democrats are gonna use the midterms. I think Democrats are trying to win the midterm, even though they're not gonna win the midterm, but they're trying. But once again, I am glad that finally we're getting rid of restrictions in the state. So finally, about time. So that should happen everywhere in this country. But oh well. It will happen someday. So okay. And we're still not voting for Biden or Harris in 2024 if the end restriction. We're not, because we're going to remember the heck of 4 years with inflation, other things other than COVID restrictions with Biden and Harris. We're not going to forget about anything that this president has done. Okay. Independent journalist debunks the Canada Prime Minister and the liberal media's Freedom Convoy narrative. I don't know what this is. Well, I don't know. Never mind. I don't know. Moving on. Blue State wants to teach race to kids, to K-12 students. Parents are fed up, and parents don't agree, and I disagree as well. So good for parents for speaking out against Democrats that are wanting to teach critical race theory and stuff and other things. Now, another story that's going on is great. My state of Indiana, the state Congress, not the U.S. Congress, even though this should be the U.S. Congress, is doing this education bill, which I'm very happy about, and for Indiana, because last year and the past years, our government in Indiana has been disappointing me, unfortunately, with rhinos and stuff in the state, and still to this day with rhinos. But I'm really happy with this bill. I know lots of people are not happy, but I think they just need to get over it. Because what this bill is, it gets rid of Indiana K-12 schools in Indiana. It removes critical race theory in K-12 schools. It gets rid of teaching of religion in schools, except for the history of religion in history class, I bet. So, it also gets rid of teaching about LGBTQ plus. It also gets rid of teaching of pronouns for transgender people and LGBTQ plus community. Sorry if I mispronounced. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the community, but I don't know how to really say LB. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, gay and lesbian community, basically another. So, not getting rid of pronouns in English class, but getting rid of long pronouns that shouldn't be. So, And also, parents can opt out and speak out of certain things and opt out of lessons, which I think parents should be able to do that for their kids, for the best of their kids. Um, so, and also puts the curriculum that the teachers are teaching online for the parents to see and what the kids are doing in class and watching the kids. And it also bans certain books that should not be taught to K through 12 kids. Uh, it should be taught. Those books are meant for adults and they're in school. Um, so yeah, and there's other things in it, but it bans critical race theory, which is great. So, and parents now have a better voice in Indiana. Hopefully, this is not in the Indiana Senate, but hopefully, it gets into the Indiana Senate and gets passed in the Indiana Senate because it's a great education bill. Teachers and staff at schools are upset about it, but I think they'll get used to it. I don't think it's not a big deal because I don't want kids learning about critical race theory. I don't want kids to learn about transgender. I don't want kids to learn about religion in school, in public school. Private school is a different story of religion, but not public schools because I don't trust teachers teaching about religion. Um, Except for the history of certain religions, that's fine in history class. I think they're still allowed to do that, but not other than that, which is great. It gets rid of teaching pronouns for transgender and LGBTQ plus community. It also gets rid of teachings of LGBTQ plus community as well. Because I don't think kids need to be learning about that. I think if parents want to teach about sex and teach about transgender to their own kids, they're screwed up for doing that, by the way. But that's up to the parents. That's not up to the teachers to dictate what the kids learn and what they don't learn. Some things teachers can teach, but some things parents or guardians should teach. Teachers shouldn't teach about race or anything. Yes, we can teach about racism in schools. I have nothing against that. We should teach about the KKK. We should teach about slavery and how slavery is wrong. Because slavery and segregation and the KKK and white supremacy is wrong. I don't disagree with teaching about race. I disagree with the curriculum that's critical race theory to K through 12 K through 12 schools age kids. Because critical race theory says that whites are horrible, basically. That's not where whites. I don't think they say whites are horrible, but they say whites are racist, which is wrong. It really is. So, and also don't teach about division in politics or whatever. But I don't know. But I don't disagree with the education bill. I think it was a great bill. I think it'll do great things. I really do. I think there's some miscommunication in the bill. I think there's not information, not misinformation, but I don't know, what is it called? Miss, I think I think teachers and staff at schools are not looking at this the right way. This bill, I don't think they're reading it correctly. I don't think, because I think they misunderstand. Teachers and stuff have misunderstanding of this bill. I think they need to look in the bill more. So, and yes, maybe some things in the bill could be tweaked in Indiana, but I'm glad that Indiana is sticking up for conservatives. And most of Indiana is conservative. So, and if Democrat teachers don't like it, then they can move to California. Okay? To have a nice job, to have a nice beach. They can move somewhere else to teach about race, unfortunately. They can move somewhere else. They don't have to stay in Indiana. If you don't like Indiana and our policies here in Indiana at all, then you can move on. Move somewhere else. I don't care. I know there's a teacher shortage and stuff and a sub shortage, but I think teachers just need to look at this bill again and again and again and see the positives in this and we don't need to be teaching little kids and preschool, kids and stuff, any age kids, even seniors. We shouldn't teach kids about certain things in public school. Parents need to, even though it's screwed up, but parents should be teaching certain things to kids. Okay? And CRT is meant for college students, not for K through 12, and it should be for K through 12. We're not banning critical race theory because it's still being taught in college, even though it shouldn't be taught in college. But it definitely shouldn't be taught in K through 12 schools. Maybe college, but not for K through 12 schools. Now, I don't know anything about critical race theory, but I do know it's kind of messed up. Okay, so, but I'm not trying to say get rid of race. I'm not saying to get rid of teaching race in school. I'm just saying do it the old way, not the new way. Do it the original way, how it's meant to be. So I'm just tired of liberal teachers and brainwashing our kids. I'm sorry, you know. So I'm tired of schools having pride flags and stuff, and symbols of transgender stuff and everything. But I disagree with that. I think I don't even think Christian flags should be in school either. It would be nice, but the only flag that should be in public schools and charter schools, which is funded with government, any public schools or public setting, other than churches and stuff, should be the American flag, and that's it. Because if we just keep the American flag in there, not even bring other flags into the school, or allow any flags to the American flag into the school, we'll be fine. Issues won't happen if we just have an American flag in the state, or the state flag and American flag in there, but nothing else. There shouldn't even be Christian flags. There shouldn't even be religion symbols. They shouldn't even be politics symbols or whatever, like Black Lives Matter and flags wherever in the classroom. The only time a Christian flag or a religious flag or a Christian flag should be in a church or a private school, but not in public school, because this makes division worse. Okay, it would be nice Bibles can be in public schools. That'd be nice to have Bibles like Christian and religion in public schools, but it's not gonna work out anymore. I wish it'd be nice to have Bibles and stuff and things like that and religious things in public school, because the world would be better, I think. But oh well, I don't want to keep dividing both sides. Okay, we just need to unify both sides, and it's not gonna work out. I wish it would. It'd be great if it would, but I don't know. This public school. The only sign or flag in public school in this moment in time should be the only flag or flags should be the state flag, if wanted, and the United States flag. That's it. I hope this education bill that Indiana's doing goes to all the Congress in the states, and also the U.S. Congress, because we need this. Let's get rid of all this liberal garbage in public school. This time. I support teachers and all this. They should be paid better. We should get rid of state testing, too. I don't disagree with getting rid of state testing. I wish we would get rid of state testing. And I wish we would, but, I do wish teachers would get paid better. But teachers should not be teaching division to our kids. It's just not how it should be, okay? And I know lots of people disagree with the bill, but look into the bill. Look into the education bill with Indiana before you judge it too much, okay? Maybe misunderstand it. Maybe teachers and stuff are misunderstanding the bill, and maybe you need to look at it again. Not trying to be rude to any teacher out there, but look at it again. Let's kind of double check it again. You can make students check things before they submit it. But anyway, like an essay or something. Like, check your essay, but check the bill. Make sure it's decent, okay? And this bill probably won't go through the Senate, or probably won't stay long, okay? So, but I don't disagree with the bill. I support the bill. I really do, because we need to get rid of liberal teachings in our public schools in India and all over the country. That's how I feel. No more liberal crap. No more bull crap in our schools. Let's teach kids social studies, citizenship class, current events, reading, writing, spelling, math, science. Okay? Maybe change science a little bit and not do the Big Bang but elbow. But the only thing that should be taught in school is be kind, don't be racist, in a good way, in a good teaching way. Social studies in a good way, science in a good way, math, English, reading will be taught. Art, appropriate art, okay, choir, anything else can stay, but no racism, not teaching racism, not teaching critical race theory, not teaching transgender, not teaching whatever. No teaching liberal stuff in public schools. This public schools doesn't need to be middle ground. Not this side, not that side, just in the middle. For our kids. Okay? Kids don't need to be learning about, and seniors in high school, or even though they know more, but they don't need to be taught that. Yet the parents teach certain things, okay? Teachers don't have to teach everything in the world, okay? Maybe college professor, but college students are older, and not virgin, not as conservative as they used to be. I don't know. But the bottom line is, I support the bill, and look over it again. Check it twice like Santa, okay? And look at it, or even 3 times, 4 times, but maybe teachers and stuff are just misunderstood, I think. So, and I could be wrong, so, but I support the bill. I support removing critical race theory. So, and other things too. Okay? So, I think parents should have a voice on what their kids are learning too. Because that's their kid. Okay? Parents deserve a voice because they had to pay tax and stuff and pay bills for school. Anyway, so parents deserve better. Everyone in public education deserves. Students deserve better. Staff, teachers, and parents and guardians deserve better in public school. We all deserve better in public school. Okay? But that's all for today's Jonhson Mclang show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you on Tuesday. And make sure you like and subscribe and push the notification bell to never miss a Jonhson Mclang show or any video of mine. Thank you, and God bless America, and God bless you guys. Peace out. Live your best awesome life. And I'll see you in the next Jonhson Mclang show. Bye, guys. Bye.